Hello, happy today to you. I just got back to do some work for 3 days, and I was away from my beloved fun man, but I had an idea for what I wanted to tackle next. I wanted to make my NPCs talk. I needed to figure out a way to do this. The idea that I had was to make just the head in a GLB and replace the NPC's head with the GLB head and try to control it that way. I was having an issue that since I was using a special rig for the face, it's no longer parented to the bones. I had to remove the NPC's head, and I didn't mean it for it to look like that, and then plop the GLB in place. And I had to make a stylistic choice. Do I make the NPC's heads a little bit larger to cover up the neck issues? And I guess from this point on, yes, the NPC's heads will be a little bit bigger. Earlier this year, I made a soundboard for my buddy Tom for his King Cockroach project. So this was my beginning of learning about using sound in Godot, and there are two different ways that you can process incoming sound. You can do it with the volume, or you could do it with formants, and the formants would the sounds that your mouth make with certain like like that. You could have it detect that, or you could just have the mouth open and close with the volume, and I chose volume. So here we have an animation that has 4 states for the mouth. One is closed, one is wide open, and there are 2 in between. And what this does is it checks the volume level, and if it's in between a certain volume level, it jumps to a certain animation. But I didn't like the 4, so I went ahead and made 8, and that's what this is like. So the main goal here is to create a system that can be used with many different heads, and hopefully when I have a master head, I can just append all of the animations that I made for it, and since that every subsequent head would use the same rig, I could just copy it and they would all have the same names, and the program would work. That's the goal. The next challenge was getting this head onto an NPC and triggering the sound when it should be talking. Over this whole process so far, I've learned to appreciate the small victories, and I got him talking, and this guy resets, but the other one, he doesn't reset. That's just another thing in the way the code is. It repeats, but this doesn't repeat, and there are 3 different talk animations. But we're getting there. I also did a little work on the picking up and putting down code, and the Go port. I also started incorporating the messages into the items. That'll give the kids something to look at. So that's what happens when you can travel. Let's see what happens when you can't travel. Cool. Well, here's some footage of me throwing things at my NPCs and frying them. I'd like to thank all my Kickstarter pals who got the ball rolling, and my Patreon pals for hanging out with me while I chug through this adventure called life. Thank you for watching, and I wish you pleasant dreams.